All right. Hi, everyone. If you're on YouTube, Instagram, and Zoom, welcome, welcome. My name is Nina. I'll be teaching lunar flow today, and today we'll be focusing on the new moon in Aquarius, which occurred earlier today in the early afternoon. All right, so if you have a Spotify playlist, I put it in the chat box if you are on Zoom, and if you are on Instagram or YouTube, then you can find my Spotify playlist by going to Flow with Nina. All right, so for anybody who just came in, I'm gonna put the Spotify playlist. If you do play the Spotify playlist, just make sure that you don't have it on shuffle and that you have it going from the beginning. You can go ahead and press play on that Spotify playlist. All right, so wherever you are, finding a comfortable seated position on your mat. You can sit on the edge of a block, a blanket, a pillow, meditation cushion, whatever feels good to you. And we'll just close our eyes and we'll arrive into the space that we're in right now. Taking these next few moments just to ground into our bodies, ground into our breath. Take this moment to bring awareness to your breath. Notice what the breath feels like as it comes in through the body, through the nose or the mouth, depending on if you're congested or not. It is that time of year. Notice the expansion of the chest, the expansion of the abdomen with each breath that we bring in. And notice what the body feels like as our breath leaps on the exhale, noticing the contraction of the rib cage, the contraction of the abdomen. And noticing if the shoulders are scrunched up. It's so easy to be scrunched up, especially if we're at the computer all day or hunching over. See if we can gently bring the shoulders away from the ears. Relaxing the head, relaxing the neck, relaxing the jaw, separating the teeth. And along with the breath, that awareness that we are starting with the breath, just noticing what you are feeling in the body. Noticing what sensations are coming up for you. Feel free to start at the feet and go all the way up to the crown of the head, just scanning the body. Perhaps stopping wherever we feel tension or tightness and just noticing if we are causing that tension or tightness. Sometimes we clench, right, when we feel stressed, especially in areas that we hold stress and tension. So just noticing if there's anything that we can release as we scan. And some things we can't release. They're not quite due to us. They're due to external circumstances. Just scanning the body from the toes all the way to the crown of the head. Just noticing what sensations are coming up for you. And as we notice these sensations, just notice if we are quick to judge a sensation as good or bad, right or wrong. See if we can just name the sensations as what they are to us. For example, pressure or tightness, without saying that this is bad or this is not good. Just seeing if we can learn to name what comes up rather than attaching a meaning to what comes up. And also following this as we brought awareness into our breath, to our body. You can continue to scan the body, but if you would like, you can just notice what is coming up in the mind. And like we did for the body, just noticing, naming what is coming up as thought, instead of attaching a meaning to what thoughts are coming up for us. Just noticing them passing on by, acknowledging them, but not getting consumed by them or attaching a specific meaning to them. Continue this practice for the next few moments. Trying to keep the body relaxed at the same time, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. As you continue this, I'll just briefly go into the lunar cycle today. So feel free to continue to keep the eyes closed. You can continue to bring awareness to the breath, to the body, perhaps to the mind. But today marks the new moon in Aquarius. So for the lunar cycle, the new moon is once a month. There are 8 phases of the moon. This class is going to be on the new moon and the full moon of every month, but the new moon is special in that it's dark, so it's a dark moon. And there is this practice of the new moon to set an intention for the next lunar cycle until the next new moon. And Aquarius is the sign that the new moon is in today. And Aquarius is a sign of essentially the collective, right? The Aquarian sign essentially is asking us, what can we do as an individual to contribute to the collective out there? So what talents and skills can we utilize that we provide to the world? And how can we make an impact with these skills? So we'll go into this more after our moon flow, our Chandra Namaskar, our moon salutations, but just something to think about as we move through our practice is, how can I contribute to the greater collective out there? And contribute. How can I make a mark on this world as I move through this life? And I want you to think of one word. If you had to set an intention for your practice today, as we move through our flow, what is one word that describes what you want to call in this next month into your life? Perhaps that is presence. Perhaps that's grounding. Perhaps that's love. Perhaps that's abundance. Whatever that is, think of one word right now that you want to call into your life in the next month, and that we can use as we move through our practice. Keep that word close to your heart. All right, we'll slowly start to deepen the breath, bringing some movement into the body. You can blink open the eyes, maybe rolling the shoulders if that feels good to you, just doing some nice shoulder rolls. You can roll back, and then you can roll forward. Maybe moving the neck left and right, just opening up the cervical spine. Maybe moving the neck in circles, just adding some nice movement, whatever feels good in your body. So take the next few breaths to tune into your body. Some of you may want to do cat and cow. That feels good to you. You can do twists like I'm doing. Whatever feels good to you, just move your body. Maybe you can move your wrist. Take about 3 more breaths wherever you are to move in a way that feels good to you, tuning into your body's wisdom. All right, so then we'll come back to center. You can come up off of whatever you were sitting on, if you were sitting on anything, and we will stand on our mats. All right, so you're actually gonna stand in the middle of your mat. You're gonna face the long edge of your mat, just like I am. Okay, so you're gonna stand in the middle of your mat, you're gonna face the long edge. We're gonna move through Chandra Namaskar. I love these moon salutations, right? So stand tall in Tadasana, mountain pose, feet together, hands to the side, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale as you bring your arms up to the sky. You're gonna interlace all of your fingers except for your pointer fingers, okay? Just like I have here, your thumbs are crossed, your index fingers are touching and they're extended. Bring the arms up to the sky. Bring those shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale as you move the crown of the head up towards the sky. Exhale as you fold over to your right, to your right. It may look like I'm going the opposite way, but go to your right. Breathing here, kicking your hips out to the left. And inhale, come back to center. Bring the shoulders down away from the ears. And again, inhale everything up. Exhale as you now fold over to your left. Breathing here, the hips moving out to the right. And we'll come back to center. Bring the palms down in front of you. Prayer, just taking a moment as we start our movement now. All right, hands to the side. You're gonna bring your feet out into a wide-legged stance. Your heels are in, your toes are pointed out. Okay, so your toes are pointing out, your heels are in. All right, inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale down, goddess pose. Breathing here. Some of you may want to do a mudra with your hands, shoulders down. Breathe here. Sink down into the hips. We're really working into the hips in moon salutations. It feels really nice. Sink in. Feel free to even rock left and right, this first one, just to kind of get comfortable here. Sinking down into the hips. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale out, sink even deeper. One last inhale, maybe release a little bit. And exhale, sink down. Beautiful. Straighten the legs, you can bring the arms down. You're now going to pivot those left toes to the left side of your mat. Okay, so you're gonna pivot the left toes to the left side of your mat. Bring your right toes to face the long edge in front of you. Okay, so my right toes are facing the long edge in front of me. My left toes are facing the left. Bring the arms out to the side. Bring this right hip back as if you're reaching with your left hand. Someone's just trying to hand you something and you're reaching. When you can't reach anymore, that left arm comes down to the mat. The right arm comes up to the sky, coming into triangle pose. Now, for some of you, if you have a block or a book, you can always use that block to place your left hand on. Wherever you are, we're breathing here. If the neck feels good, you can keep the gaze up. You can bring it down if the neck doesn't feel good. Wherever you are, moving the heart to the sky. Breathing in, inhaling in, exhaling out. 2 more deep breaths here. Tucking that left hip into the right hip. On this last breath, gently as if someone has your right hand, gently letting you up. Slowly, slowly, slowly float up. Breathing here. All right, so now we're going to bring this right foot. We're gonna completely face the left side of our mat. So our toes are now both facing the left side of my mat. Okay, so I want you to bring your feet out about hips width apart or mats width apart. So my left foot is hugging the left edge of my mat. My right foot is hugging the right edge of my mat. Both of my toes are facing now the left side of my mat. So we're gonna come into pyramid pose here. Couple options for pyramid pose. You can just place your hands on your hips. So pyramid pose is when you bend over, all right, that left leg. Couple options, hands on hips. If you want to try something a little bit more advanced, then you can essentially use your hands behind you into hidden prayer, okay, crossing the thumbs, or you can grab opposite elbows. Okay, so pick whatever feels good to you in your body right now, wherever you are. So once you've found that, inhale as you open the heart up to the sky, mini back bend here. Exhale as you fold forward over that left leg. Letting the head and neck hang. If you need to bend either of your legs or both of your legs, feel free to do that. Okay, letting the head and neck relax, shoulders away from the ears, breathing here for 2 more deep breaths. Definitely feeling this in that left leg especially. 1 more deep breath here. And slowly, slowly, slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Roll up 1 vertebra at a time. And gently release your hands if the hands were behind you. All right, so now we're going to move down to the ground. Okay, so you're going to bring your right knee down onto the ground. So I'm in this lunge. For some of you, it may feel good to place a blanket or a pillow underneath your right knee. If you feel extreme pain on the right knee, you really want to not put as much pressure on it. So you might want to kind of adjust. Okay, whatever feels good to you. It's okay to bring your left knee way out in front of you as you can. So we're in a really deep lunge. We're really working into the hips here. Okay, so couple options here. You can just have the arms to the side. You can have the arms up to frame the ears. And you can come into a back bend wherever you are, either the arms up or the arms down. Okay, so do whatever feels good to you. Breathing here, it's really important here to make sure that we keep breathing. Don't hold in the breath, keep that breath moving. Really sink into that left foot, feeling this in the hips. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bring the arms back to center. You can use it to bring the hands onto the left knee. All right, this next part, this looks kind of like a ninja pose, okay? You're going to actually use your arms to pivot yourself to that long edge of the mat. So as you can see here, I'm on the ball of my left foot. My left knee is bent. My right foot is extended and flexed. Okay, this is kind of like a ninja pose. For some of you, you may be even able to bring that left heel all the way down. Okay, so wherever you are, we're staying here in ninja pose. Once again, we're kind of working into the legs and the hips here. Option here, if you want more of a challenge, you can bring yourself up to half prayer or full prayer for balance, okay? So wherever you are, breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Everyone bring the hands down. We're simply going to switch sides. You can kind of lay low and come onto that right foot now. Extend out that left leg. Ooh, this feels good as a counter stretch. So now your left leg is extended, your left foot is flexed. You're on either the ball of your right foot or the full foot, full right foot. Option here to balance again. Breathing here wherever you are for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right. So now, just like the moon phases, we're going to do the other side all the way back up to standing. So now you're going to pivot to the right side of your mat and bring that left knee down. So you're coming into that lunge on the other side. Your right knee can come as far past your right ankle as feels good. If you need to place anything underneath your left knee or adjust accordingly, feel free to do that right now. Same as the other side, option, your arms can be up, your arms can be down. Wherever you are, feel free to open the heart to the sky. Keep that breath moving, most importantly. Keep that breath open. Breathing here for 3. Push into that right foot, really sinking into the hips. 2. 1, beautiful. All right, we'll come back to center. Use your hands in front of you to now come to standing. So now we're gonna come back into pyramid pose. So now bring your feet about, you're facing the right side of your mat. Bring your feet about mat's width apart. Both of your toes are facing the same side, right? So your feet are kind of like on train tracks. All right, option like we did last time. You can either put your hands on your hips, you can grab opposite elbows, or you can come into hidden prayer. All right, hidden prayer behind you where you have the palms together, the thumbs are crossed. Whatever you decide, get comfortable there. We'll inhale as we bring the heart open to the sky, back bending. Exhale as we now fold over that right leg. Wherever you are, let the head and the neck relax if that feels good to you. And feel free to bend one or both knees. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Very, very, very gently roll up. Slowly taking your time, 1 vertebra at a time. And then you can release the hands down. All right, so now we're gonna come into triangle pose. So keep that right foot facing the right edge of the mat. Bring that left foot a little bit back. You're going to have your left toes face the long edge of your mat. So my right toes are facing the right, my left toes are facing the long edge. Okay, so we're in this a little bit wider stance. Bring your arms out to the side. Kick your hips back behind you. So like you're reaching with your right hand. Somebody's just trying to hand you something and you're just out of reach. Reach, 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 reach. When you can't reach anymore, your right hand comes down towards the ground, the left arm comes up, coming into triangle pose. Once again, if you have a block or a book, any sort of thick thing that you can place your right hand on, feel free to do that. Here, we're trying to move the heart open towards the sky. If your neck hurts too much, feel free to just keep your neck down. Tuning into the body, feel free to bend one or both knees. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Very gently, as if someone has your left hand. Slowly, slowly, slowly come back up to standing. All right, so now we're going to fully face the long edge of our mat again. So bring both of your feet out into a wide-legged stance. Your toes are facing out, your heels are in. Okay, so my toes are out, my heels are in. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale down, goddess. Ooh, this feels extra good after we worked into the hips. Feel free to come into any mudra that you like. Breathing here as the hips come down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, goddess pose. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, goddess. Beautiful. And we'll inhale, straighten. Bring your left foot to meet your right foot now. Interlace all of your fingers except for the index fingers crossing your thumbs. Inhale the arms up. On the next breath, inhale up. Exhale over to your right. Inhale, come to center. Readjust here. Inhale back up. Exhale over to your left. Inhale, come back to center. And bring the hands to the side or the palms in front of you. That is 1/2 of a moon cycle. You saw we literally formed the shape of the moon cycles as we moved. It's really beautiful. So now that we know the asanas, we're gonna go a little bit quicker, a tiny bit quicker this next round, okay? So now that we kind of have an idea of what to expect. Before we do that though, close your eyes, either the hands to the side or the palms in prayer in front of you. I want you to repeat that intention again to you. What's that word? Or maybe it's a new word now. Maybe you have additional words. What do you want to call in this new moon in Aquarius? What do you want to bring into your life in the next month? How can you bring that into this next part of our flow? Embodying it. Keeping that breath moving. And open the eyes, release the hands. All right, now we're just gonna go from right to left this time to complete a full round of Chandra Namaskar, moon salutations. Inhale the arms up to the sky, interlace all of the fingers except for the index finger, cross the thumbs. Inhale up, exhale over to your left. Inhale back to center, release the shoulders down to the ears. Inhale back up, exhale over to your right. Inhale back to center, exhale both arms down. Come back into that wide-legged stance for goddess pose. Toes are facing out, heels in. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, sink into goddess. We'll stay here for a few counts. Breathing here, feel free to rock left and right. Feel free to come onto either heel if you want to deepen the stretch. We'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs and the arms. Turn those right toes to the right side of the mat. Turn those left toes to the long edge of the mat in front of you. Arms out to the side. Kick the hips back behind you, preparing for triangle, reaching with that right hand. When you can't reach anymore, right arm comes down to a block, a prop, or the mat, left arm up. Keep your gaze where it feels comfortable to you. Breathing here, moving the heart to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Very, very, very gently come back up to standing. Now, fully pivot to the right edge of your mat. Bring those feet out to mats width apart, both of your toes facing the right. Find that stance for pyramid pose, whether it's hidden prayer, opposite elbows, or on the hips. Inhale the heart open to the sky. Exhale as you fold forward over that right leg. Breathing here. 3, 2, 1. Very gently, slowly, slowly, slowly roll up. 1 vertebra at a time. Release the hands. Now come onto the mat, bringing down your left knee, bending that right knee as far past that right ankle as feels good, getting into Anjaneyasana. This is called crescent moon lunge. Breathing here, arms up to frame the ears or arms down in airplane wings, wherever you are. Opening up the heart to the sky, breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Gently come back up to center. Use your hands to crawl towards the long edge of your mat, getting into that ninja pose. You're on the ball or the fully flat right foot. Left foot is flexed, left leg extended. Option here to come into a balance. Breathing here wherever you are for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release the arms down. Use your arms to kind of help guide you to the other side. So now you're on your left foot. Your right foot is extended. You're on the ball or the full flat left foot. Option here for a balance once again. Breathing here wherever you are for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release the hands down. Use the hands to pivot yourself to the left edge of your mat as you bring that right foot up and you're on both feet. So come up for just a moment to just situate yourself. You want your feet to be about mat's width apart. Both of your feet are facing the left edge. Bring your arms in opposite elbows, hitting prayer or on the hips, whatever feels good to you. Inhale the heart open. Exhale as you forward fold over that left leg. Relaxing the head and the neck down. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Very, very, very gently roll up, all the way up, one vertebra at a time to standing. And release the hands down. Bring that right foot back a little bit further. Your left toes are staying facing the left side of your mat. Pivot those right toes to the long edge of the mat in front of you. All right, so they're kind of at a perpendicular angle, your left and your right foot. Arms out to the side. Kick those right hip back, that right hip back. Reaching, reaching, reaching with that left hand. When you can't reach anymore, left palm comes down towards the mat. Right palm goes up. Feel free to use something to place your left hand on. Heart is opening towards the sky. Gaze can be wherever is comfortable. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Very gently, use that right hand to gently guide yourself back up to standing. Now we're going to come back into goddess pose. So come into a wide-legged stance. Your toes are out, your heels are in. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, straighten everything. Exhale, goddess. We'll do one more after this. Make it the juiciest one yet. Inhale, everything straight. Exhale, come down into goddess. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs. Bring that left foot to meet the right foot. Interlace all of the fingers except for that index finger, crossing the thumbs. Inhale up. Exhale over to your left. See, you look like a moon, right? We're forming the moon here. Inhale, come back to center. Relax the shoulders down. Normal breath. Inhale up. Exhale over to your right. And inhale back to center. Bring the palms down to the heart and to the side. That is a full Chandra Namaskar, moon salutations. Definitely works a lot more than it looks like, huh? For sure. All right, so come all the way down to your mat and come into child's pose. Let's take a moment to rest. This will feel really good on the back. Sitting the hips back to the heels, the arms out in front of you, the forehead down to the mat. And when you're here in child's pose, take a moment to just notice what the breath feels like. Notice what sensations are coming up in the body. Notice what thoughts are coming into the mind. And no matter what we acknowledge in the mind, the body, the breath, we're not judging them as good or bad, right or wrong. We're simply just observing, naming. Few more breaths here in child's pose, perhaps even repeating that intention to yourself. that you made today. And on the next breath, just slowly, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. We're just gonna do a few little stretches here just to kind of open up the body, and then we'll move into more of the intention setting, journaling, meditation part of class, to wrap up class. So kick your hips off to one side, bring your legs out in front of you. For some of you, it may feel good, like I have here, to sit on the edge of a blanket, if you would like, or a pillow, like a really soft pillow. Legs out in front of you, legs are straight or they're bent, whatever feels good. Feet are flexed. Bring the arms up to frame the ears. Inhale the crown up. Exhale as you forward fold over your legs. Now feel free to bend the knees and make this more restorative, right? So the moon is yin energy. It's more that relaxation, receiving, right? We're moving away from action, from too much work, to receiving, to resting, to restoring. So even in these stretches, feel free to make them as cozy and comfortable as possible. For some of you, you may even want to grab a pillow for some of these stretches. You can even lay over a pillow if that feels good to you. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. Relaxing the body. Where can you let go of work right now? Where can you let go of tension, of clenching, of holding right now? Where can you just let the body relax? Keeping that breath moving. And on the next breath, very slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. So now gently, you can move your pillow or your prop off to the side for just a moment. I'm going to face you, but feel free to face whatever way you want. We're going to come into Baddha Konasana, just to kind of one last stretch with those hips, right? We're kind of working to the hips quite a bit. If your hips are really open right now, feel free to open your feet like a book. You can kind of see your toes. It may feel good to have a pillow or a blanket once again if you want to lay it in front of you. So wherever you are, hold on to your lower legs, straighten the spine, reaching the crown of the head up to the sky. Inhale up. Exhale as you forward fold over the feet. Feel free to bring the arms out in front of you to get more of a stretch. Let the head and the neck relax. Let the feet relax. Where are you putting in work right now that you don't need to put in? Where can you just receive? Where can you just be? I feel like the majority of the time we are human doings and not human beings. So in this moment, how can we be a human being? Keeping that breath moving, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the teeth. Few more breaths here. Then slowly, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. You get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and back down. All right, so we are now going to go into the journaling / meditation part of class. If you want to journal right now, this is a great time to grab a journal, a piece of paper, something to write with. For those of you who don't want to do that, simply find a comfortable seated position wherever you are. Even if you're journaling, find a comfortable seated position. But you can use this more as a meditation if you would like. All right, so tune into the body, to what feels good for you right now, whether you want to kind of close the eyes and use this as a way to just visualize, right? Or you can use your journal to write down what it is that you are thinking for this new moon. All right, so I'm going to read you kind of a little bit about what this new moon means and some prompts for what we can ask ourselves during this new moon in Aquarius. Are you ready to see things from a new perspective? After nearly 6 weeks of testing out our goals and dreams for 2021, we're now able to see where we need to take a fresh approach to see our manifestations materialize into reality. This new moon in Aquarius invites us to break out of our usual routines and shake things up with a new way of approaching the changes we want to make in the world. We're also being called to look at how the things we personally want to achieve can have the potential to bring greater benefits to the greater community around us. Our genius ideas become most expansive and world-changing when shared with others. Just take a moment maybe to close the eyes for just a moment and maybe just observing how we are responding to what we just heard. Just for a moment, what is happening in the body? We can gently blink open the eyes. There are 2 questions that I'm going to ask, and feel free once again to journal, at least to jot down some thoughts for each question, or feel free to close the eyes and just visualize what it is that you think of or that you're wanting to manifest from this question. The first question, the first prompt to think about during this new moon in Aquarius: how do your personal and professional goals need to change or be updated so that you have the best possible chance of making them happen this year? So I want you to think about that, whether you're journaling or you're meditating on this. You think to your goals, your personal life goals, also your professional goals. How can you adjust them based on what you know so far of the last 6 weeks of this year? How can we adjust them to actually make them happen? Perhaps allow us to be more motivated to achieve them. So just take a moment and ask yourself, what does that look like for me? Maybe start with the personal goals of what does it look like in my personal life? How can I update or change my goals so that I can actually reach them this year? And also think back to your professional goals as well. How can I update or change these or adjust them so that I can actually meet them? Maybe this involves physical changes. Maybe this involves mental and emotional changes. Just take a moment to either jot down what that looks like for you or visualize that in a meditation. We'll take the next few moments in silence just to give you some space. visualizing how you can change your update or adjust your goals. Maybe even think just now, what's one step that you can take in both your personal and your professional life? What's one step that you can even start perhaps today or start tomorrow? We'll just take the next few moments to wrap up our writing or our visualizing for this first question. And then for this next prompt, how would you like to be of service to the world this year? What special skills, talents, or interests of yours could be harnessed to positively affect others' lives? So building on that first question of how can you be of service to the world? And what skills, talents, qualities, traits, anything, what can you utilize and contribute to the world, to the greater collective, really tapping into that Aquarius energy. So take a moment now to just think about this prompt. And feel free to write in a journal or feel free to visualize, imagine yourself giving back to this world. And what does that look like? Maybe even imagine down to the detail of what exactly is it that you are doing in this visualization, or perhaps jot that down. Maybe even think down to what you're wearing. What are you wearing when you're giving back to the world? What environment, what's your surrounding going to be? Do you hear music? Do you hear people? Do you hear kids? Maybe you hear animals. Whatever it is, just imagining, really imagining, visualizing yourself. Contributing to something greater. And we all do. We all contribute something. It can even be something small, like just performing an act of kindness, right, can contribute to more kindness in the world. Maybe doing one small thing for the planet, right, can contribute to a healthier planet. Just thinking down to anything, continuing to write about this or visualizing. I'll give you some space the next few moments of silence. Start to slowly wrap up, writing, visualizing, perhaps ending what we're writing, ending what we're visualizing with that one word intention that we want to set for this new moon. And it's okay if that word has changed. It's okay if you have multiple words. What is your intention for this new moon in Aquarius and for the next month? The next month is just a seed that we're planting, right, for our life. So just by making a change in our next month, we could be laying a really strong foundation for the rest of our lives. Each month, each day, each minute, each second counts. Wherever you are, we are gently opening our eyes, putting anything aside, and we'll make our way down onto our backs on our mats. Just when you come onto your back, feel free to hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a tight squeeze, rocking left and right, massaging the spine. Ooh, this feels extra good on the back. Maybe even moving your knees in circles. Switch direction after you move your knees in circles. And then feel free to open up into happy baby, grabbing the outsides of both legs, bringing the knees down towards the mat. Feel free to continue rocking left and right, massaging your spine. And then when you're ready, doing any last movements that you need for your practice, are coming down into the final pose of Shavasana. Feel free to use a pillow or a blanket, anything to get comfortable as we lay on our backs. Arms to the side, feet apart. Shavasana, if the mind wanders, that's okay. We can just bring ourselves back to our intention. We can even inhale that intention on every inhale. We can just focus on the breath as it is. We can bring awareness to the sensations in the body. There are many ways that we can ground ourselves into the present moment if our mind wanders. What is your intention for this new moon in Aquarius? What seed can you plant? What do you want to see in the next month? What do you want to feel in the next month? Slowly start to deepen the breath, bringing movement into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, stretching the arms up overhead, stretching the legs out in front of you, growing really tall, getting a nice stretch. And when you're ready, rolling over onto either side, coming into a fetal position. Taking a moment here to collect your breath, to start anew. And when you're ready, making your way back up onto your mat in a comfortable seated position, perhaps on the edge of a block, a blanket, a pillow. Bringing the palms together at the heart. Taking a big inhale in through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Resuming the breathing. Giving gratitude to yourself for showing up to your yoga practice this evening. Giving gratitude to your mind, your body, your breath, for all that they do for you at every moment. And giving gratitude to those in our lives that show up for us. Focusing on the heart in this moment. Gratitude to our loved ones, our family, our friends. And see if the heart has more space in this moment. How wide can we go with our gratitude and compassion? Perhaps giving gratitude to our neighbors, to the people that live in our city, to the people that we see on our walks or when we go to the grocery store. If we have room, we can go even wider to giving gratitude to our city, to our whole state. And if we have even more room, giving gratitude to our whole country. Maybe even to our whole world. Maybe there's room for the whole universe. Wherever your heart is in this moment, just bringing awareness to the heart space. And also extending that gratitude back to ourselves as well. And one last setting of our intention for this new moon in Aquarius, repeating that word or words to yourself in this moment. Breathing it in. I thank each and every one of you for coming to practice with me today on the new moon in Aquarius. It's always an honor to share this practice with you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to those on Instagram Live, on YouTube, on Zoom. If you have any questions, feel free to always contact me. Otherwise, I hope to see you again in the future. I will not have sunset yoga this Sunday, but we'll resume next week. All right, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day.